Welcome back to Radical and Relevant, where each day we explore the genius of Jesus in the Gospels. Today's reading comes from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 9, verses 32 through 38. As they were going away, behold, a dumb demoniac was brought to Jesus. And when the demon had been cast out, the dumb man spoke, and the crowds marveled, saying, "Never was anything like this seen in Israel." But the Pharisees said, "He casts out demons by the prince of demons." And Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing every disease and every infirmity. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is great, but the laborers are few. Pray to the Lord of the harvest to send more laborers into his harvest." What jumps out at you today? Is there a word, a phrase, or an idea? There are a few things I think worth reflecting on. Firstly, Jesus heals, casts out the demon, heals the dumb person. The dumb person speaks. The people marveled. When is the last time you marveled at God? When is the last time you marveled at something that God did in the world, in your life, in the life of someone you know? It's important that we stay attentive to the work of God, because the work of God should inspire us to marvel. It should inspire awe and wonder in us. And if it's been a while since we marveled at God, then the truth is we're probably not paying attention. The second thing, obviously, the Pharisees, he's casting out the demons, and they're like, yeah, he's casting out the demons by the prince of demons, because, he's the Lord of all demons. And it obviously begins to get a little old, because Jesus is demonstrating these good acts, these great acts, these miraculous acts on a daily basis. And they just keep upping their negativity, their criticism. They're just massive opposition to Jesus. And I love, again, this juxtaposition of the Pharisees are saying, well, he's a demon, that's how he casts out demons. And then we read, and Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel and healing to every disease of every infirmity. But what do I love about that? I love that Jesus is on mission. He's like just being accused of being the Lord of the devils, prince of the demons. And it just doesn't even faze him. He just keeps moving, stays on his mission, doesn't get distracted. And so I think that's a great example for us, because, when we get criticized, it can shut us down. And it doesn't shut Jesus down. He just stays focused on his mission, keeps doing the next right thing, keeps doing what he feels called to do. And that's a great model for us. That's a great invitation for us. And then, of course, the last phrase or phrasing is one of my favorite parts of the gospel. The harvest is great, but the laborers are few. And the laborers are few because we're not doing our part. Most people in the kingdom are not doing their part to bring in the harvest. And so it's a challenge for us to ask ourselves, okay, am I doing my part? Am I doing what God is calling me to do? The harvest is great, the laborers are few. Am I laboring for the kingdom to bring in the harvest? Have a great day. And remember, be bold, be Catholic. The 7 Pillars of Catholic Spirituality has just been released. I want to read you just the first line. What if everything the Catholic Church teaches is true? This is the one question most people never consider when it comes to the Catholic faith. The 7 pillars transformed my life when I was a teenager. When I was 15 years old, a spiritual mentor entered my life and taught me about the 7 pillars, challenged me to ingrain them into my life as habits, and I would not be sitting here today if it were not for the 7 pillars of Catholic spirituality. They are ancient habits that are ever new, that are ever relevant, that are ever willing to transform our lives if we're willing to embrace them. The question is, are we willing to embrace them? And that's my challenge to you today. Wherever you are in your journey, maybe you've practiced the 7 pillars for a long time, discover them anew, enter into them at a new level, at a new depth, with new commitment. Have a great day. Enjoy the 7 pillars of Catholic spirituality. And remember, be bold, be Catholic.